and welcome, my Leo Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation reading for April and May 2021. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions. Leo Rising, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey guys, hi girls, hi ladies, hi men, hi my Leonines. Catching up on some of the series, doing two at the same time, one for new moon, full moon, and one for work, career, and vocation. So bear with me and I'll get all signs done as they come through, just trying to find my creative balance so I don't burn out so quickly. You know what I'm talking about. No matter what your form of creativity is, right? You got to learn how to balance it even when it is a passion, and I'm really enjoying this. So let's get down to business, and then we'll really get down to business. My book, Words of Grace, is actually selling pretty well on Kindle. Links in the description box. I wrote that during a Dark Night of the Soul about 3 years ago, and it's really helped a lot of people. So I had it out originally in ebook format. I did it myself. I hired a Kindle editor, Dylan Martinson. It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous, and it's really good. And you can even check it out, the first bunch of pages on Amazon itself, right on Kindle. You buy it on Amazon. And you don't need Kindle to get an ebook. You just need the app. There's a Kindle app. Who knew? I just found that out. So really cool. My work on Facebook as well has expanded. I'm now monetized on my Drawing the Circle Productions Facebook page. You can come take workshops and free lectures and tarot parties, some paid, some free. It's all good. All links. I'm a busy witch. I just am in Leo Rising. So hopefully I'm making it look good and graceful. Now let's get down to the other business at hand. Since we're talking work, career, vocation reads here, this is a 9-card spread looking at your life purpose through 3 lenses. The lenses of work, career, vocation, or if you like, 3 levels of power as taught by Myss. This is her archetype deck. We'll be using these for the first 3 cards down. There's a link in the description box, an intro to her talking about the 3 levels of power, which you can see through those lenses in all sorts of different areas of your life. In this one, we're focusing on life purpose, right? Work, what you do to survive. We'll get there. Career, your internal hunger and thirst, what lights you up, and your vocation, your spiritual calling. There are chakras involved. I'll explain all that as I go. But the 3 decks we'll be using, we'll get 3 archetype cards, Myss, for the 8th chakra aspect of your work, career, vocation. 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the internal world experience of work, career, vocation, heart, third eye, crown. And the last 3 cards down will be from the Mythic Tarot, the physical or external experience, work, career, vocation. So you're really getting, it's 3 chakra reads, right? But let's see how they play themselves all out, because they are all extensions of the same creative inspiration, blah, blah, blah. All the decks that I read are always in the description box below, and all I can ask for anybody watching any of my readings is both feet on the floor if you can, focus on your breath if you will, and standard YouTube rules apply. It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs to get more information, inspiration, or insight into your work, career, vocation, because your sun's going to get different info than your moon, etc., etc. And I include the Venus signs in here for the people who love what they do, and I love what I do. And I have Venus and Libra conjunct Mercury, so I could talk about it a lot too. So I think that's about it. As I said, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I get from my pantheons of the divine, particularly in this spread, which I've done for myself since, well, pretty much since the 2000s. I started my company in 1998. I learned about 3 levels of power through Myss a little bit after that, probably in the early 2000s. So I've done this for clients. I've done this so many times, so I hope you dig it. Please take a nice deep breath. Okay, here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved. I am a Leo rising, so it might be my higher self involved in this too, please. I need 3 cards to represent the archetypal powers being developed from lead to gold, from toxic to healthy, from shadow to light in the Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this readings, work, career, and vocation. So let's start with work, root, sacrum, solar plexus, literal level of power, physical world, survival, intuition. What's going on in their career? Heart, throat, third eye, crown, vibration, career, mental hunger, emotional thirst, burning passion to make things happen, their psychological world, their mental emotional world, personal level of power, creative intuition. There we go. Took a while. You know, when you hear me keep going on and on and on, it's because they're just getting the right card ready, and this is a big deck. DECK. It's YouTube. Trying to keep it somewhat clean. Yeah, I'm still me. All right. And my collective pantheons for their 8th chakra, their vocation, their spiritual calling, the star that guides them forward, that calls them forward to take their fate and alchemize it into destiny on the hero's journey of work, career, and vocation. That is way too many cards, right? Their spiritual power, symbolic level of power, 8th chakra, visionary intuition, what we got for the Leos, April, May 2021. Now, I do these 2 months at a time so that you kind of get, this takes a while for things to shift into place. And oh, what an interesting set of archetypes you've got here. You have got a wild card, and a wisdom. Okay, so here we go. There are 9 families of archetypes. In your work, you've got the destroyer archetype. Now, I will say a lot of people have had their physical work destroyed over the past year. I think you know why, right? But let me read you the shadow and the light archetype. The shadow is what you don't want to look at. The light is what you're shooting for in terms of healing. Now, this could be like not just you. This could be an entire industry going through this in terms of physical work, in terms of what you do to work in the world. See, I don't get paid by doing the actual physical work. Nobody sees that. Right? Nobody sees that, the editing and the phone calls and the emails and all this stuff. I don't get paid 1 red cent for that. I get paid for my career, which is as teacher, artist, and healer. You see what I'm saying? So in terms of your physical work, the shadow attribute of the destroyer archetype, wildcard family, intoxication with destructive power, destroying others' dreams or potentials. And my goodness gracious, how could not feel that way? Right? So I'm just saying for everybody, like pretty much across the board. I mean, how many people are now working from home that never would have thought they were working from home? So in other words, this destruction has come through, but intoxication with destructive power, that seems a little iffy. Destroying others' dreams or potentials feels more likely. The light attribute, though, releasing what is potentially destructive, right? Like once you realize something is potentially destructive and not in a good way, like you want cancer cells to be destroyed, right? You want, limitations that hold you back from manifesting your highest good to be destroyed. But this is not that. This is releasing what is potentially destructive, usually within yourself. Now, Leos, I am Mars conjunct Leo rising. So the thing with me is when I'm angry, if you have to ask if I'm angry, I'm not. Because it shows on my face. I mean, my last name is Lyons. I roar, but it's like a belch, right? If it's really potentially destructive, I find a way to channel that, right? To channel it that way, inner child work, whatever you want. So in that process of releasing what is potentially destructive, you also get preparing for new life, literally written on the card. So in terms of your work, career, and vocation, yeah, there is a new beginning here in play, but a lot of it has to do with how you're dealing with it physically, particularly are you relishing other people's dreams or potentials being destroyed? Wish I could feel that, particularly if you don't like people. Your career, the Don Juan archetype, another wild card family archetype, power of seduction. Now, honestly, this isn't all about sex and romance. The Don Juan, it does mean Father Juan. The shadow attribute, using the power of romantic attraction for a private agenda. It's faking it. It's using the power. It's seduction. It's using your romantic power on somebody for a hidden agenda, a shadow thing you don't want them to know about, or maybe you even don't want to look at. The light attribute spotlights your positive seductive qualities. And what are positive seductive qualities? Have you ever gone in to buy, let's say, a large purchase item, like let's say a car, right? You go to certain car lots, you might as well have a pendulum. Is this fucker telling me the truth, right? But when you have a really, really good car salesman with the Don Juan archetype, they're going to sell you the very, very best and leave you feeling there really, really well. In other words, they're going to draw your attention to the positive qualities of any situation and then leave the decision in your hands. There's no manipulation. You know what's really seductive first thing in the morning? The smell of bacon and eggs and coffee for me, right? You know, like that, like, not that I haven't cooked my own breakfast in that way in a while, like I have coffee in the morning, but that smell, like when I go visit my parents upstate in Saratoga and I just smell that, it's like, it seduces me out of bed, right? There's a very positive, seductive quality. My mom used really thick Italian bread too, so it's really, really good. She makes toad and hall, it's so good. So fucking good. Bullseye breakfast. Sesame semolina bread, unbelievable. So I get that seductive part of this. Let's put this in here. In your 8th chakra, however, your vocation, you've got the Scribe, wisdom, family, archetype. Really, this is the card of saying, make sure your paperwork is in order. The Scribe, creative family archetypes, keeps records. The Shadow here, altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. Now remember, this is spiritual power. This is 8th chakra. So altering facts and plagiarizing others' work, perhaps if you are to look from your 8th chakra down, perhaps at your work, you might be seeing some of that shady behavior and maybe some of that shadow seduction going on there with somebody in your work, career, vocation. But I think for you what this is really saying in terms of 8th chakra spiritual calling, your vocation, light attribute, preserving knowledge and information, keeping receipts, but also, in a sense, journaling, right? Even if you're not a writer, pants on fighter, you can really kind of preserve. It's like, this is what I'm going through, and on this day, this happened, and on that. It's sort of like, particularly if you're in a very destructive work environment, document everything. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, I mean, this is 8th chakra stuff. We're about to go into, like we took it from the 8th, now we're going to go heart, third eye, crown, what your personal experience is of this, and that will clarify. But already, the Destroyer, the Don Juan, and the Scribe, like, that's a weird combo, Leos. And yes, when you're angry, particularly if you are, you know, a Leo placement, Leo risings, we show it, but we explode quickly, particularly because I have Mars conjunct, right? It's like a big explosion, and then I'm fine. And I've learned to do that without other people around. All right, heart, third eye, crown, daughters of the moon. Nice deep breath. My goddesses of fire in the sign of Leo, please. 3 cards in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, please. Personal level of power, the yin-terior, the interior, their emotional power, their power of choice, their mental power, and their in-the-body spiritual power of the crown chakra. What's going on for them April, May 2021 in their work, career, vocation? Please clarify this Destroyer archetype in their work. What is their internal personal experience of that? Same with the Don Juan in the career, heart, third eye, crown. What's going on there? And for that Scribe archetype in their vocation, wisdom, family archetype in their 8th chakra. Let's see who you got. And 2 major arcana cards and a minor arcana card. All right. Okie dokie. With the Destroyer in your work, believe it or not, you got the card of Justice, Ma'at. But Ma'at's not looking at necessarily man's law, although that could certainly play into this. This is the physical, literal level. There might be something illegal that's going on here, and something needs to be destroyed and recreated, making possibilities for new life, right? Releasing that as what is potentially destructive. And I think this is something you're doing inside of yourself. It would make sense, trying to find balance. That something has been destroyed or is in the process of being destroyed. A little bit different than transformation, but it could be through the balancing of the scales, right? That releasing what is potentially destructive, perhaps even within you, is balanced. Now, I will say Ma'at, Egyptian goddess of judgment, essentially, weighing the heart of the deceased, whoever comes before her on her set of scales. There's you can't really see it, maybe, but down here, there are a set of scales she's holding in one hand with an ostrich feather right next to it. It's usually a feather. In this one, it looks like an ostrich feather, I think. This is, and she weighs your heart, right? If your heart is lighter than the feather, you get to move on to the next world. If it's not, if it's heavier, 2 different versions. One is that your soul gets eaten by a demon. The other is that, you just have to reincarnate again, right? You didn't alchemize enough of your lead into gold. I mean, it's a very, very ancient myth. But certainly one that speaks here about you really weighing things out here within yourself as well. And major arcana, not like the Two of Flames, which is the minor arcana card that you've got in your vocation, but we'll get there. But I do see a lead through. I do see a thread, a connecting tissue here, so to speak, because in your career, you've got the Trickster, one of the two devil cards in this deck, Daughters of the Moon. It's a feminist deck, so it doesn't use patriarchal cultural imagery, which I love. That's why I love this deck. Coyote Woman, Native American Spirit, Trickster. The Trickster, a teacher. Yes, very wily coyote, can be very sabotorial, and I will say, destroying others' dreams or potentials, being sneaky, could be going on here, particularly with the Don Juan archetype. Now, I will say, if we did this without it being Daughters of the Moon, and this just came up straight up the devil, I would say, yeah, watch your ass, right? Because you are dealing with what? Some shadow behavior. I don't know if you can see. I'll get a little closer. Oh, I love my dining room table. How often I have to lean across. You see the coyote is casting a shadow there. So yeah, there is something sneaky going on here. There is something tricky going on here inside of yourself. You might be feeling a bit like chasing your own tail, very wily coyote. So with that Don Juan archetype, I would be very, very careful about dealing with any seductive energy. Make sure that you are nice and balanced and your boundaries set and your clarity there, your head and your heart really balancing with that throat chakra about what you choose to say or do, particularly in your career. Now, this could be that you're keeping your career hidden or secret from your work. A lot of people do that, right? And how many people are working at so many jobs? How many artists' career wait tables? Well, less now than there was before, but like work in retail or data entry or something, anything so that they can make the money they need to survive to feed their passion. There could be a piece of that there. But with that Don Juan archetype, you really want to discover what are your own seductive qualities that are in the positive. Right? To me, I know this sounds really boring, but teach by example, right? Like, be happy. You want to be seductive? You want to be seductive in the light? Really be authentic, because that's incredibly seductive, except for those people who can't handle it, and that's not your fault, Leo. In your vocation with this Scribe archetype, you have got the Two of Flames. This is my indecision card. Well, I want to do that, but I want to do that. That could be one thing. Or I want to do that, but it's like, make sure you don't have too many buts in your intention here. Now, I understand there's nothing wrong with going back and forth about this, but I'm going to suggest with the Scribe that you actually write stuff down. Now, write it down, your Book of Shadows if you're a witch. May any eye who reads this unchained be forever burned, something like that. You really don't want to fuck with my private materials. But what I'm getting for this is in some way so that you can really log it, right? And really, really see, perhaps from a more spiritual point of view, that you are at a crossroads. Now, I don't feel like this is major life-changing crossroads. That would be the card of the Lovers, life-changing decision, particularly in this deck. But it's not. This is about perhaps you going back and forth, and doing the research like a scribe would do, right? To find the other written research, perhaps. It's more of a spiritual nature. Thy will be done. I don't know. To know that you don't know is called the grace of humility, and it's the first grace I talk about in my book because it is my saving grace, which is one of the last graces we talk about in the book because everybody's got a saving grace. Sometimes it changes. Mine has always been the grace of humility. Unfortunately, I learned that a little later in life. I know that I don't know, so therefore I don't have to torture myself, and I can ask, show me. It's the best prayer ever. Show me. God, Goddess, Zeus, Buddha, Jesus, Zan, Jaina, Fred, Wilma. The Wonder Twins. We just have to bring Gleek into it, don't we? So really, an interesting through line here, again, with justice and something tricky going on here with the Coyote Woman, the Devil with this Two of Flames. I get you're in a tricky situation. Not exactly sure what to do. And yet your seductive power is like, well, and that would make sense, because even in your eighth chakra, you're like, well, we could do this, or we could do this, or we could do this, or we could do this. What's this look like on the outside? Mythic tarot, I love it so much. Pretty much standard tarot, right? Just with Greek mythology, which should be my first language, Greek mythology. I don't know if you can tell, but there might be some Wonder Woman influence in my life. You think maybe? Breathe. My gods of fire and the sign of Leo, please. 3 cards in clarity for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. What's going on in their work, career, and vocation, their life path, and 3 levels of power from the outside looking in, or some aspect of the physical world to help them really identify what this is and give them clarity. April, May 2021, please. They've got the Destroyer. The Destroyer archetype with Ma'at, heart, throat, third eye, crown. So there's that balancing out, but there's also that thing of there's a karmic lesson here. Another way to look at it. What does this look like on the outside? The Strength card. Now, what sign is associated with the Strength card with the lion in it? Leo. This is about you. That is you from the outside looking in. You got 2 major arcana cards of the Destroyer archetype. Yeah, you might be running roughshod over a lot of stuff. Just be aware that even if you are unaware, there is no death without rebirth. There is no destruction without creation. No crucifixion without resurrection, right? No illness without healing. Even if you croak, it doesn't mean you failed. It just means that's healed, right? So this is about fortitude, and this is about strength, and this is about courage, and this is about endurance. Like, can you endure the destruction and dissolution of what is going on here in a fair, balanced way in your work? And to maybe, I'm not going to say have fun with it, but I mean, we are looking at the Strength card here to take advantage of it in a loyal way. Now, if you ever get the chance to read the Labors of Hercules, they're all different translations. It's not like there's one single copyright. Even Agatha Christie wrote a Poirot story about the Labors of Hercules. Heracles, really the original Greek, who's in that card. Each one of them, he had to kneel or bow, some form of surrender, symbolically or literally. So there is something there about how do you do that in a balanced, fair way. But definitely that Judgment card says that this is a big thing going on in your life. A big, probably life-changing thing that you have to really weigh out. What's going on in their career? They've got the Don Juan with the Coyote Woman, heart, third eye, crown, their passion, their creative intuition. What's this look like on the outside? The Magician, the creativity card, right? In the sense of taking an inspiration from the 8th chakra down through the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, finally down into the solar plexus, the sacrum, and the root chakra into the physical world. You have the tools to manifest your career. Or maybe there's somebody who coming into your life, this magician could certainly reference another person, coming into your life, really giving you the insight that you need. The Magician is truly the first card of the major arcana. It's numbered number 1. The full card 0 has no numeric value. Therefore, it is in between the beginning of the end, between the worlds, right? Between the end of the cycle and the beginning of the cycle. So as much as, yes, there is probably a full moment that came before this Magician in your career. And if this is you from the outside looking in, a little scared on the inside, I can feel that, right? Because because you don't know what to do. Things are still weighing out in the work, and even in your vocation, you got that indecision to aflames things. So this might be, get clear on what it is that you want and why you really want it, and with that Don Juan seductive energy going on in its light, it might very well attract to you the very people, places, and things that you need as if by magic. You have everything you need inside of you. We all do, but it is a journey. It is a learning curve, right? Just because you didn't get what you want doesn't mean you're not getting what you need. He said, tossing the cards onto the floor. Put them on selenite. So everything's on selenite. The Purifier. So here we go. My gods of fire and the sign of Leo. For the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. They've got the Scribe archetype. In the 8th, their vocation, their calling, their visionary intuition with the 2 of flames. Perhaps they are seeing from that higher perspective 2 different ways that this can go and not sure which one they want to put their effort into, their attention into. So what does this look like on the outside, please, in their vocation? Yeah, I get it. 4 cups. 4 of Cups, which is a little meh. It's emotional rest. This could be giving yourself the emotional break spiritually, although information may be coming into you that might leave you feeling a little dissatisfied. 4 of Cups, I think, is a wonderful card if you take it as, oh, just take a break and relax. Right? It's got that stability of the 4. It's not quite the 5. Maybe it's the pause before the storm, right? The calm before the storm, the 4 before the the 4 before the 5 of Cups. It's a little tricky to say. And I think that this might even be talking about some past regrets here. And for you to get that on the outside, yeah, no, I'm just not feeling anything. Or, well, I'm feeling stuff. It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like I need to act on this. With that 4 of Cups, maybe I'm getting information from other people that are discouraging me or dissuading me from it. Just feels a little meh, M-E-H, hashtag meh. But on the inside, that would make sense then with this back and forth, back and forth. I'm telling you, with that Scribe archetype, it feels like, I don't know if that's your leverage. Usually in work, career, vocation, there's one of these that is like the lever that really shows you where if you apply your power here and fix this one, align this level of power, the other 3 will follow suit. And I have to say, just looking at what's going on here, I'm going to say that's in your career, the Don Juan with the Trickster and the Magician, because by the way, we just saw this. This is, in this deck, the Magician is Hermes, who is, yes, the messenger of the gods, but is also the god of tricksters. He's the trickster of the Greek pantheon, the god of liars, gamblers, and thieves. Great guy. Love him. So cute. Would charm the pants off and on you. Again, brilliant. I love my gods. I've had lunch with them. I've had more than lunch with a bunch of them. Eat me. But really how this lines up, it does make sense to me, but you are in a place of uncertainty for sure. So I'm going to tell you something that somebody said to me a very, very, very long time ago. A witch said to me, well, if you don't know what to cast for, cast to know what to cast for. And this new moon, I don't know when you're watching this, but this new moon in Aries on a Sunday in April, whatever that is, I think it's the 11th. Oh my God, what a brilliant opportunity for work, career, and vocation magic, particularly for a Leo, because it's on Sunday, the day of the sun. I don't know, it just feels really, really good. Go check out your work, career, vocation reads. I'm working on those too. Okay, so let's put this all together for you. Shall we? Take a nice deep breath. I'll give you the blessing. Oh, my pantheons of the divine, may the Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may fulfill their contract in alignment with the soul's high wisdom of and reality of the golden timeline in terms of the fulfillment of their life purpose as the scribe and their vocation with this indecision 2 of Wands that needs to sort of be felt out intuitively little by little in the 4 of Cups, because they've got some equilibrium, but it's a little bit meh. So that in their career, they can really be that positive, seductive energy, soul power, really dealing with whatever fears, whatever chains, whatever tricks they're playing or are being tricked on them, that they're able to manifest what is necessary, knowing that they have all of the tools that they need in their toolbox on their altar as they would have it, so that they can deal with the destruction that may be going on in their work world in a balanced, fair way, perhaps even clearing lots and lots of karma with the strength of the Leo card, that they really be authentic and roar when they have to roar, but also purr when they have to purr in their work, career, vocation. April, May 2021. May they be so blessed, and may all they meet and cross their path be so blessed as well, for the well-being of all. So motivate. So it is. There it is. You like it? Like it. Want more? Subscribe. You want to comment? Please do. You want to share it? Yeah. But most of all, go read my books. $9.99 USD. US dollars. And come check me out on Facebook too. We got a lot of cool stuff going. Check out my other people on my channel here on YouTube. The Dollhouse reads and scenes from the Dollhouse are just slaying me. I think they're hysterical. That's why I've greenlit them. So I hope you get a kick out of them. I sure do. Oh, and Maul Flanders has some ideas of where she's going with that, which I can't wait to see. I'm really hoping that she takes it to a murder mystery level and we get a little Mrs. White in there. Don't you? Flames on the side of my face. Anyway, wishing you all the very best and the very, very blessed in your work, career, vocation. My Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Meow. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.